Well everyone, Birdie and the Beast is a few months away from premiering. I'm so excited. But I want to talk about a show that has Let's in the title. Not Let's Party, I already talked about that show in depth. But another show with the word Let's in the title. No, not you, get it here, not you but I love you, oh here's the one. And by the way, I actually had a parent who saw the show back in 1996 before it became a theater circuit hit for the 1996 to 1997 season. But man, I was really floored to not actually see this show, but Elmo makes music instead. But Disney on Ice is cool too whatever, so instead of summarizing the show, I'm going to give actual thoughts on the show instead. Same with Let's Party and Make Your Magic. Because seeing is believing, something the philosophy of Big Bird implies. But let's go over the actual story content first. The show is about Elmo and Zoe creating a friendship club that only allows monsters with red and orange fur to join, but then the doors open up when Big Bird offers to join, and the doors open to guys with sweaters, insect harvesters, monsters who are nervous, birds, monsters who love cookies, counts, monsters who speak different languages, bears who have a very small role, an owl who has a seemingly small role, Snuffleupaguses, and understudies. I think here and there are a lot of really great musical numbers incorporated in the production. Let's Be Friends is very catchy, and Stick Out Your Hand and Say Hello has a lot of Be Our Guest vibes, considering the show premiered the same year as Beauty and the Beast on Broadway, and At the Circus is one of the best original Sesame Street live songs to come out of this decade. Disappointed they didn't use it in Circus Spectacular, but hey, they at least managed to write a nice inspired piece on the Be the Circus is Coming to Town. These renditions have counted higher and Count on Me are definitely some of the score's highlights, and the barbershop of Sesame Street is just very fun. And it's in no small part to the contributions of Don Harper. He has composed the score for Tarzan, Lion King 1.5, and he helped alongside Mark Monchina for the score in Mona. In addition, he also worked on 3 fantastic Sesame Street live shows, Sleeping Birdie, When I Grow Up, and Let's Be Friends. I think the orchestration here is really amazing. And another thing I really love about the show is all the character choices. This is probably the most unique cast in a Sesame Street live show ever. Of course, you have the usuals, minus Grover, but you get so many rare characters including Hoots the Owl and Mr. Snuffleupagus, and Roxy Marie. I considered an idea for a revival, but it would take a lot of those elements away, which is a sign that a show actually works. I'm glad they didn't revive this show, because then we wouldn't have Grungetta or Hoots or Snuffy or Roxy Marie. I think it's a godsend, compared to Everyone Makes Music. And as much as I would have liked the show to come back for a 3rd time, it's safe to say the time for the show to be revived is up. And one of the main reasons why is because you would have to change the sets, which is something I dislike about the 2000 revival. In the 1994 version, you have all these amazing set pieces, like the playground, and the Friendship Club booth, and the original Friendship Club. I have to say, the set in the 2000 version took a majority of that stuff away. Now, a lot of people have been remembering Elmo and Zoe recently, because of their air over a rock. As much as I enjoyed this aspect of their relationship, it's not all that. I think this show really explored their friendship a lot. And oftentimes, they are both in the wrong, like when they assume the Cretch don't want to make friends, or Elmo and Zoe only allow red and orange monsters to join, and they learn from their mistakes. And the club comes out of empathy from Elmo because nobody said hello to Zoe in the opening number, and if that's not character, I don't know what is. But another aspect of character relationships being explored were Big Bird and Mr. Snuffleupagus. This was the first Sesame Street live show where Snuffy actually had a major presence instead of just singing about his Wembley. He was able to be relevant to the show's actual plot instead of just existing because the show needed Snuffy. In fact, prior to his first appearance on stage, Big Bird mentions he was planning on going to the circus with Snuffy before noticing Elmo and Zoe's Friendship Club, which hints at Snuffy appearing in the show. The show, with Elmo, Zoe, and Big Bird as the legs, it also gives the other characters something to do. Like Bert and Ernie go to challenge the audience in a screaming contest, Rosita teaches a Spanish lesson, Count does roll call, Snuffy does a high wire trick, Cookie Monster cleans his room, Telly gets a haircut, Hoots talks about how owls are nocturnal, Oscar and Grungetta give a tutorial on how to be a grouch, and Roxy Marie sings about bugs. But the only issue with this show is how Baby Bear has nothing to do. You could easily switch him out with Grover and it won't change anything. The music is the best that Sesame Street live has to offer. Don Harper really knocked this one out of the park. Let's Be Friends is my favorite show theme song, and Hella Medley does a great job showcasing Mexican culture in a way that isn't insulting. Stick Out Your Hand and Say Hello gives off Be Our Guest vibes, and the Clubhouse medley is a great At One closer. Count on Me's a very heartwarming ballad, and Cookie's medley of songs from the 50s work well as the 11 o'clock number. And In the Circus is a really great finale for this amazing show. I give the show an 11 out of 10, probably the best Sesame Street live show ever.